now, and this is a good exercise. You know if you speak English when you have just waking up and you can speak English.
True, true.
Okay. So guys, I'm gonna get the questions here for me to know which is the topic today. And yeah, so let's get started with the presentations. And as you already know, the immersions, they are not classes. I'm not a teacher here. I'm not going to correct you. If you want corrections and things like that, we can do that, but it's not here in the immersion. We do it outside. We have other plans, other features that you can have access to improve and develop yourself, your English, your speaking, whatever you have about your communication. And let's start with the presentations, personal presentations. So Bernardo, can you present yourself, please?
Okay, well, I'm Bernardo. I'm 43. I started this week. I subscribed last week as we were talking, but my first class, no, sorry, not class, my first immersion was on Monday, and I'm trying to keep this frequency 2 times in in the morning. It's easier for me. A- anyway, I'm here today again, trying to keep up. I'm a data engineer for maybe 14, 15 years. I am still employed, so I have a work, trying to look out there to see jobs na gringa, as we were saying in the last conversations. And I know I need to improve a lot my conversation skills. So here I am.
Very good, very good. And you, Marcio, go ahead.
Okay, I'm 41 years old. I'm married. I have a children. I am an ACP consultant for 3 months. And I'm musician. I love play bass since my childhood because I have a good teachers. Is my dad and teach me and taught me a lot, since my child. I love play electric bass and really different instrument for me. And in my free time, I really like to sleep because I consider myself a morning person. I wake up every day at 5 a.m. because I love to run. Yeah, I love walking alone with my children. And yeah, that's it about me, guys. Thank you for listening.
Very good. And myself, I'm Philip. I'm here replacing Victor, trying to talk to him and no answer. And we're gonna talk about soul mission. Why are we here? It's a very deep topic. So let's see how it goes. And my very first question, so we can start with, is what does soul mean to you? A purpose, responsibility, or a path you slowly discover over time? Bernardo, how can you start answering this question?
It's a hard topic. I mean, there's no easy answer because when you grow up, we start to think other things like job, work, study, everything to pay our bills, and I kind of lost track about my purpose in life, you know. When I became a father, that was, I don't know, easier to think about because I had a young daughter, then I had a young son, and now I have yeah, a young stepdaughter. So 3 kids in my life, and I have a lot to do, have a lot of work, and it's uncommon for me to think about what's my purpose in life. Right now, my purpose is studying, working, paying my bills, uh, assuring that there will be food at the tables for to eat. You know, but I try to think that is a part of my life, a stage right now. that when this cycle ends, another one will be there. So I can again think about my purpose. I am a spiritualistic person, so I try to think beyond our human life crisis. But right now, I'm more the hard person.
Very good. Yeah, I think everyone has a unique sense and feeling about mission, about the soul mission, and someone could say it doesn't have, others will say different things. So I think it's more about how you feel and your beliefs, right? So yeah, it's good to hear. I'm a spiritualistic person as well. I believe in the same. Uh, so yeah. And you, Marcio, how about yourself? What does soul mission mean to you?
To me, a soul mission is a path we gradually all the time. And because we have a lot of different learning or uncover, and yeah, for me, a soul mission is a path we graduate all the time because there are new things all the time. And yeah, and learning all the time for me. Yeah, that's it.
Great. And I think when we talk about soul mission, it's something deep to think about, like why am I here and what I'm doing? Should I do this or that? My life, where should it go? And I don't know if you guys have already had this question before, and it's my question to you, and I'm gonna ask you, Bernardo. Have you ever thought about why are you here? Why you have this life? It's a question different from the list.
That's
Okay,
okay.
so
Well, I believe in reincarnation, so I like it's a personal creed. So when I think about it, I think that I will be here several times. I've been here several times in this planet or this earth, or I don't know, this multiverse of craziness we have in human life. And I think I can't see that's a single purpose, but the the main scope of all of them would be improve yourself. So I don't think I have a true single unique purpose of life of okay, I'm gonna build a pyramid. That's not like it for me. I think you're here to do something better, to do good, to be good, to help, to be helped. Because when we are helped, we learn some things that you usually don't realize, even if it's already happening. And when we help, it's much bigger than that. I feel greater, I feel good. So I think that is. And I think it's
yeah,
not common sense, okay? It's my crazy.
yeah, yeah. Sometimes I ask myself, not lately, but I remember thinking about that in my late 20s, just about what I'm doing of my life. Why should I go to work? Why should I wake up? Why should I eat? Things like that, like silly situations, not in a bad thing, but trying to get some meaning out of everything. And when I started to question me about that, that's where I started to change my life, and my career happened to be a consequence of those questions. Why I'm going to work, why I'm doing that, and then I started to see and watch, browse everything around myself, especially at work, and it didn't make started to not make sense. And once it doesn't make sense, it was hard to cope with, to keep going. And then uh and lots of therapy sessions as well, and then I started to just, yeah. let's think about other options. What else can I do? What are the options? What are the things I can do? And then start to plan little by little. Started actually with a relationship, a long-term relationship that broke up, and then I think that was really the trigger. Yeah, I think usually it happens like that, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
Correct. I feel you the same way.
Yeah. And you, Marcio, have ever thought about those questions? Why are you here? What you're doing?
Yeah, I don't think so, and because for me, these questions really news, yeah, but I guess it's depending on my situations for me, and yeah, I don't think so.
Very good. And Marcio, asking you another question right now. Do you believe every person is born with a specific mission? Like when you are born, there is something really specific that you have to do, or do we create our own purpose as we grow?
I guess impossible, because we have to learn all the time when we born. It's a process, and all the years, all the times, all the month for me, and specifically, I guess it's impossible in my point of view. Yeah, because it depends the family, but depend the person, you know. For example, when one child uh, have more specifically situation or specifically dreams or goals, I think so. But it's depend the people and the family. Yeah, it's depend. But specifically, I guess impossible when
Yeah,
was born.
yeah, and I think this question is crazy. Uh, because when you think about that, I believe we have, I don't know if we have a specific only unique mission, but I think there's something like I feel that I believe on something like that. I don't know if you are born with a specific mission and you have to, like a game that you have that only mission and you have to accomplish. If that's the case, I don't think I'm close enough to accomplish the mission. But I think there are lots of things that we were assigned somehow, or we were born to develop and to achieve. But in a nutshell, like doing good to other people, it's like a mission for everyone, I guess. I don't know. And you, Bernardo, what are your take on this?
Strangely enough, I like talked about it when I was speaking. So I don't think we have a single unique purpose in life, but or a mission. But I really think there's a a big picture of we being helpful, we being generous, we being good. So any kind of uh, model your micro purposes, but like a real big picture of macro purpose, I don't think so. But I may be very wrong, I don't know when I die. Let us see.
Yeah, exactly. Uh, and I think like that, like when I see someone famous that has passed away, I think like, oh, is there a possibility this person tells anyone about what's the after that, you know, or what happens, and yeah, it's crazy. I like to discuss topics like that.
Yeah.
Very good, and it requires lots of English within. So, what experience in your life made you question whether you are following your true path or just going through the motions? Have you ever had this experience in life to question if you're following your true path, your true self, and the things you need to follow, or just going with the flow? Bernardo, have you ever had this
Yeah,
experience in life?
basically the same as you said when I broke up in my last long-term relationship. It was almost 13 years being dating and engagement, then married. So yeah, when that broke and broke very badly in a very bad manner, my mind kind of spins, and I really had to think what the hell I was doing with my life. And suddenly I was searching for answers and becoming more conscious about what I really wanted, what I really could do, because sometimes you want to do some things that we can't do. So we have to be realistic. Okay, I want this, I want that, this I can, this I can't. So it was a very single moment in my life. Of course, other moments happens too, but this one was very, let us say, effective in my life.
Yeah, and when you say if there's something you can share about it.
Just because of 13 years, a lot of stuff. I had my, I had a, I had my kids already, and we've been struggling for a very long time in that relationship, and we are trying so hard to do something that it can't hold on. You know, it's very stressful. And why stress more? Why stretch more that relation that was already very bad for almost 3, 4, 5 years, you know? The thing that I realized was, man, life gives you a lot of signs, a lot of smoke, a lot of ideas, a lot of, let us say, intuition, but you have to be prepared to understand those signs, to decodify them as something you can understand, you can soak in your life and get it. Man, what I'm doing is wrong. I need to change. Instead of waiting to something breaks or a new fight happens or jealousy or hey, anyway, that stuff, you know. We
Yeah,
humans beings try so hard to keep broken things together, all together, so hard.
yeah, and I think especially when we have someone for such a long time, and I had lived that um when I was in my 20s, you know, and figuring out things myself, and didn't know if I wanted a bike or a car, or to marry or to to have a tree, you know. So I think when we have moments of uh strong emotion uh involved, it happens to question and start thinking of what happened and why I'm doing this, where should I go next, and things like that. Um, Marcio, I'm always getting confused with my tabs. Have you ever had experience like what Bernard was sharing? if it's yes or no. Have you ever questioned whether you're following your true path or just going with the flow?
Yes, I have. And for example, moments of frustrations, routine, or lack of mean usually making my questions, my directions, for example. And for me, when I was moments of frustration and routine for me really bad, you know. But yeah, it's necessary, you know, because I go on, of course, in my mind. But really hard when I have bad frustrations or routine, for example. And yes, I pay attention about making me questions my directions, for example, you know. And for me, yeah, it's a good point for me, good situations for me, but really hard when I don't have a moment of when I have moment frustrations.
Yeah. And I think frustration specifically is an emotion that uh at least for me, when I get frustrated on something, I really question myself a lot. A lot. So trying to do things, especially at work, this year it's been tough, and I started to question myself. Am I
Yeah.
doing the right thing or not? What should I do next? And there's no one to answer this question. You know, you just need to feel and
Yeah, but uh, this word "don't give up" really so good, you know, when we have a bad frustration, for example.
yeah,
Yes, but yeah, this word really good. Don't give up in your goals, in your dream, for example. Yeah.
yeah, and you don't. I think we don't have choices in this way, right? You need to keep going. It's like that.
Yeah.
Simple like that. Bernardo, and do you have like you have mentioned already about intuition? Do you think intuition or inner voice plays a role in guiding yourself toward your mission or your next steps?
I do. I really do. I try to keep conscious of my decisions and try to understand things that happens when I'm not totally conscious, you know, when I'm doing something that why did I do that? I mean, why people are doing what they're doing. So I I really think intuition, even when we don't know it, because sometimes you just think it's intuition, and it's not. Maybe something happened. We have no control of things. There's a lot of variables happening all the time, and when sometimes when we have this intuition, so many times we don't know that's a intuition is just a feeling, and you think, okay, I feel scared, or okay, I feel afraid, or I feel brave enough to do this, and sometimes it's not bravery or fear, it's just your intuition screaming to man, do that, you know. But yeah, I do believe intuition is there.
Yeah, I believe the same. I think it's hard to explain. I don't know how to explain what's intuition, but sometimes I it's been a while that I don't do this anymore, but when I was living alone, I started to ask things out loud to myself, just in a way that someone or somehow something could ever hear what I was asking. So, oh, I want this, I want that, and very specifically, and magically somehow, not from nowhere, but working hard, thinking and trying to solve things, but it happened to exist, you know. And the decisions I took in the past years, they were purely intuition. Talk and talk was purely intuition, wasn't planned. I wasn't born to have talk and talk. It was just intuition and feeling people, feeling the environment, and changing, because we need to change depending on the scenarios and the variables we have in front of us, ahead of us, you know. So it's not simple, but in my personal experience, it happens a lot. And for yourself, Marcio, do you believe on this intuition? Have you ever had this inner voice playing a role in guiding yourself towards something?
Yes, I agree with you guys. Intuition plays a huge role, for example, and sometimes the inner voice speak before, and logic can explain anything, you know. And yeah, voice speak before really important, you know, because our mind really complicated. Our our opinion, for example, my opinion, for example, really complicated, you know, when I speaking in my point, for example, and because this intuition plays a role for me. And for example, I'm married, you know, when I speak uh, when I speak different opinion about myself with my wife, for example, my wife shy anything because this I pay attention before, talk before, and yeah, yeah, for me, yes, you know, and when I talk about my opinion, okay, we have a lot of opinion, but pay attention about, you know, from me. Yes, I do about this question.
And this question, next question, it's for me, it's strong enough to discuss for 10 hours, I guess. That is about challenge, failures, and painful moments. And Bernardo, how do challenge, failures, or painful moments help shape your deeper purpose in life, or your next steps, or what you
I
think about
believe
the future?
I believe they are everything, you know. I believe that someone that doesn't feel pain or at least some regret is living wrong because there's no way you can avoid obstacles, avoid problems, avoid failure, avoid pain, suffering. They are part of a process of uh, growing up. You know, we live in a huge civilization, a lot of different kinds of society, let us say this way. So, and when we divide in smaller groups, we are already having problems of communication, of interpretation, of understanding things. So it's okay when you expect something and get something completely different. And that creates some frustration, creates maybe the feeling of sadness, and makes you think, I'm wrong? A- Am I right? What did I do wrong? Can I do right? That shapes your next decisions for good or for bad. That's about you, you know. It's on you. So when you experience challenges, when you experience failures, and these moments that we are calling painful, I really believe they shape your entire life since childhood, since you're a baby, you know? And I think when
Yeah.
we are fathers and mothers and parents at all, that's a single mission there that you have to do something for them too, so they can suffer less than you, but they will suffer too. I mean, there's no way you can avoid them the suffering for them. They will have to live through this process too. As you, what you can do is help them share your problems, share your feelings.
Yeah, and asking you back again, do you think it's required to for a human being to grow, to have these painful moments, frustrations, and
I really do. I really do. I think that I mean, trying to think as a IT tech, as a data engineer, in micro versions of this question, you won't learn just reading. You will learn doing, practicing. And when you practice, you make a lot of mistakes because you don't know everything. On the contrary, you know almost nothing. And you don't know and try something, the chance it will go wrong is huge. And when it goes wrong, okay, now I know what I did wrong. So I will do it again to try to do it better and correct. So I think it's just like this in our life. You don't know, you know nothing in life. What do you know in life? Nothing. So when you try to do stuff that we don't know about, or we think we know, we don't know, that's the black hole. He will go inside and kick your heads and legs and everything. It will go wrong, and then you learn. Okay, now I know what I did wrong. I won't do it again. That's painful, but
yeah,
you learn from it.
exactly. Yeah, it's crazy. I think my entire life I haven't had the chance to grow if it wasn't about a failure or a challenge, a painful challenge specifically. Talking about talk and talk itself, it just develops because of challenges. When it's easy, when it's comfortable, I don't know if it's the way it is or it needs to be like that, but I just grow when I face something really hard or painful enough to think about other scenarios, other solutions. So
If you think about it, even our muscles, our body, they only grow when we stretch them at workouts or gym. And if you uh, do a single reading, what happens to the muscle grow up? It's because you make not fissures, you stretch them, and the
yeah,
fiber like breaks, and then it will heal bigger. Even a physical
yeah,
issues, tissues, and muscle that happens too. There's no way our mind would be
yeah.
different.
I think like the planet, the plants, the nature, it just changes when something breaks or
Yeah.
something goes in a direction that's not the way it should. So like the continents, they are the way they are because something broke from the inside out on the seas and everything, or the plants. You need I used to do gardening a lot, and I had basil. The basil was my example of learning how to gardening. And in order to the basil grows up, you need to it's not to cut, but
To
I don't know
trim?
how to say. yeah, to train. Yeah, to train. Yeah, to train. And then it started to prune or to train. Yeah. But prune is the word.
That's life.
Yeah.
That's life.
You have to prune the basil in order to grow and, you know, to have flowers within and everything else. Then what do you think, Marcio? Does it happen to you as well? Like you grow or you develop yourself when you face challenges, failures, painful moments?
Yeah, pain has a way of pushes us toward growth and really, really resilience and empathy, you know, those difficult moments and offer reveal the strength and value we already have discovered all, all this why otherwise. And for example, challenges strip ways illusion and forces us to see who we really are. For example, pain has a way of the strength and pushes, yeah, growth and resilience. Yeah,
Yeah. I think it's part of life, right? And if we do not overcome those situations, it's really hard. It's like even synapses on our brain, in our brain, you know. You need to that thing, I don't know how to explain, but needs to go to another direction to start creating synapses, start to create connections, you know. Very good. And when you look back nowadays, Bernardo, can you identify any signs of patterns that seem to guide you towards something meaningful or not? You do not recognize that.
That's a hard one. I've been reading this question like 3, 4 times and trying to think if there is something there. I'm pretty sure there is. I have this feeling there is, but I can't remember them.
Yeah, it's really hard, this one. Um, and it's a lot of therapy, you know, before
Yeah.
answering this,
Yeah.
even in Portuguese. And you, Marcio, do you recognize any pattern about uh can you identify signs or patterns that seem to guide you towards your purpose in life?
yes, you know, when I see it before, really different today about myself. And yeah, and for me, for example, opportunity, I never imagined uh, work from home, for example, or speaking English, for example, you know. Yeah, sometimes I can understand you, sometimes I can understand you. But because this my English, I work from home. When I see before, I've never imagined work from home or speak English, for example, you know. And yeah, good experience. I recommend for my family, my children, you know, persistence, resilience, and really good, you know. And yeah, when I see before and today, really different, um, myself, you know.
Yeah. When I you know when I look back, it's crazy. I can really recognize some milestones that had happened and made me change the the way I was living and the way I was going. So my girlfriend nowadays and like she had changed me for life after I had met her in the in life. So it's crazy to recognize that, like how I and I have this, I'm always changing the way I do things. I think this talk and talk situation since 2026, it's been the even I'm on talk and talk since 2026, 2016, sorry, 2016. I feel that it's the more stabilized uh situation I have ever had in my life in terms of career and profession. But at the same time, my entire personal life had shifted from 0 to 1,000, you know. And I'm I'm in the process now of another huge change, a very big one. And I think it's because of, marriage, having kids, that I know it changes a lot our life. But from time to time, I have this patterns in a way. So before we finish, I'm gonna ask the last question just because it feels like it's a, a very good question to ask in the end. If you had to guess, Bernardo, based on your personality and experiences, what do you think your soul is truly trying to learn or achieve in this lifetime?
Really should be less stubborn. For me,
Everyone,
that's
I guess.
nah. For me, it's harder. I'm a very, very stubborn person. I mean, that's not true, not the stubborn itself, but I'm kind. How can I say that? I am stubborn, okay? I'm not saying that I'm not, but I'm stubborn in a bad way. So, I mean, uh, it's hard to change for me, and I've been improving that. I was worse when I was younger, and I'm trying every day to be less stubborn. And as you said, a lot of therapy that helps a lot. Every week I have my session, and man, that makes me feel so better, you know. And I really feel I'm doing better right now. I really do.
Yeah, and I think when we recognize that, and I think in my situation, it's uh, uh I need to be less emotional about things in life. I think it's I don't know if there's an active adjective or a word for that, but I need to take I need to take less things for granted, you know, and start think more about things twice, three times, um, and do not take too personal and emotional, you know. It's been better, but it's still sometimes it hurts sometimes when I see things. And I know people they don't do that on purpose, especially, but it's just the way it is. It's just how is life. And everyone is struggling and trying to fight their own battles. So it happens. Anyway, Marcio, do you have based on your personality and experience, what do you think it's your soul or you are trying to learn or achieve in this lifetime?
Okay, I think my soul is trying to learn how to grow without fear for me. Yeah, to trust myself more. Okay, don't good, you know, but yeah, I try learning without fear. because today I trust myself, you know. Today I trust myself. Yes, because it is possible when I have good dreams, have a good goals. It's possible, you know. Yeah, really hard, of course. And for example, wake up when I like to read or study or have a practice exercise, for example. But I think my soul is trying to learn how to grow without fear. Yeah, in my mind,
Okay.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very good.
because
Here.
yeah, because and the uh, people talk me a lot of bad things, for example, or good things, okay? But for me, learning how to grow without sugar uh, is my soul.
Yeah. And I think what people say to us affects a lot ourselves. And
Yeah,
some people specifically, it's
unfortunately.
even stronger. Yeah. Very good. So I want to thank you all for this time of this talk. It was really great. Thank you, Bernardo and Marcio, for your patience in the beginning about the delay. And I think we had a great talk, and I guess you have enjoyed as much as I did.
I did. Thank you, Felipe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So have a great day. Enjoy, and see
You
you
too.
next time.
Bye